everyone. This is Sheela Gyawali, your host for today in the very first episode of very first season of Rishimuni Inside. Today we have a very special guest who holds a very special place in the name of the show itself, Mr. Rishi Subedi, who is my English teacher and an extraordinary personality. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
I hope you are fine and thank you so much for giving us time and being here.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here.
So, can we start with the questions?
Sure.
So, let's talk about your childhood first because you are very inspirational.
So talking about my childhood, actually I was brought up in a very remote place. And at the time I was in the school, so if we say that the time today, the time you are living today, the society you are living today, and the society I was living that day, it's not too many years gap. Still, there is a lot of differences in it. And so I did my schooling from the government school, and where English was not in the interest of many people. So it was completely Nepali medium school, and somehow we had kind of good thing. And since I was brought up in the middle class family, so and the village over there, most of the things, the schools were not very close, and we had to walk, probably for 1 hour every day to reach the school. Somewhere it was quite challenging. Plus, it was fun as well. So I feel like I had got a very good opportunity to explore the society, explore the environment over there, and then I would get very good time while walking on the way. So it would be the best time for me to remember some of the grammar formulas and then some of the important things that I had to learn. So the way would be the best time for me to learn. So anyway, it was okay.
So that was really good. You really connected it well with society, the nature, and pretty sure so many people can relate with your childhood, but they do not bring their sense of connecting with nature to this. So I already told you are inspirational and your childhood is of course inspirational so much. So what made you come into teaching field since you already mentioned that English is not priority subject?
Yeah, okay. There are something why I became a teacher, plus why did I become an English teacher? It has some kind of different story for me. Number one, as I said, when I was in the school, it was not English medium school. No schools in my area was English medium. So even though, I don't know why, but I had a kind of interest in English, and since I had only one English book at that time, and then the English book would have very limited passages. And what I used to do is I used to read those passages time and again, probably thousands of times I read those passages because I did not have other materials to read at that time. So maybe it shows that today I feel like why I did so maybe I have the interest in English. And in the school, even sometimes I would like to speak English, though I was not very good. Even today, I'm still learning. So at that time, I would like to speak English, but if I sometimes would speak English with my friends, either they would beat me or they would boycott me, and then I would be isolated from the group. And what I feel is most of the holidays I would go to the jungle with my boss. Yeah. So maybe it's very much something like a fairy tale for you guys. Okay. But this is the reality for me. And then when I would take the goats to the jungle, and then I would speak English with them, so that they would not feel bored to listen to me, and then they would not be angry with me as well. So it was a very maybe all these things show that I had kind of interest in this. Plus, now another thing, like how did I become a teacher? So after I passed my SLC, at that time it was SLC, later on it became SC. And my only one dream was to come to Kathmandu because, for the people like me who was brought up in the village and going to this big city like Kathmandu was a kind of dream. And it was the constant dream for me. And my father had told me like, yeah, if you get good score in your SLC, then obviously you will be going to Kathmandu. And he had said. I think probably this is only for the reason I read very well, when I was in the school. If there is any reason I read very well when I was in the school, it was to come to the Kathmandu, And because my father had said, if you read well, so you can go to Kathmandu. And then just to reach Kathmandu, I tried my best to get a good score. And obviously, after SLC, I came to Kathmandu. Then after, what happened is I used to live with my sister at that time, and I was probably doing at that time it is called I8, now it is called grade 11 and 12. I think at that time grade 11 and 12 the system was not there. Only after a few years this system came into existence. So at that time it was called IA and IP8, something like that. And I don't know, when I was in the school, I was really inspired by one of my English teacher, and then, so what he suggested me is I asked him, before I came to Kathmandu, I asked him, sir, could you please recommend anything for me? What should I do? Because there are a lot of things to do. So there are a lot of streams to take. Management is there, science is there, plus education is there. And then I don't know why he said you have to take education and you need to take English subject. Maybe he had found kind of interest in me in the English subject, so maybe that's the reason he told me. And accordingly, I came to, after coming to Kathmandu, I just joined Mahindra campus, it's in Tahazal, nearby Kalimati. You might have heard about it. So then after I started going over there, and it was I did second year, means like today's grade 12, yeah, when I was doing grade 12, something like that. So I got the offer to be a teacher, and one of my friends of my sister had just begun a small school in somewhere in Samakusi. Then, she just called me once, and then I just went there, and I saw that the school was just established. Only 5-7 kids were there, and then there was a nursery and then UKG, up to UKG, nursery plus there is lower KG, LKG, and then UKG. They had just, established this school, and they offered me a job, and yeah, I became very happy, and so I got a job, so that's fine. Then after I started teaching. Some of the days it was quite difficult for me because I was really not very much used to this, and even the English was quite difficult for me. Obviously, it was, and all the books, even the nursery, LKG, UKG books all of them were in English, and I just tried my best. But when I spent 1 month, I started enjoying over there, and the major thing is the principle. The reason I chose to be teacher is when I was doing in that school. So though I was feeling quite uneasy, but the principal of that school always encouraged me. She always appreciated. She just would look at me and then she would say, "Oh my God, Rishi sir, you are made to be a teacher. God sent you in this earth to be a teacher. You don't do anything else. You are the best teacher. She would always tell me something like that. I don't know why she said it, but it did not let me leave this job. And then I always get involved into this job, and then maybe. But in that school, I did not remain long. After a year, I think I left, and then I went to another school. So in this way, so I happened to spend almost 10 years. Then after 10 years, what I felt is this is the comfort zone for me. And when many other opportunities would come, then I would just I would evaluate it then I would find the teaching job is more fun for me, and it would be like more the zone, comfort zone especially. It would be the comfort zone. So that I could not leave this since then. So this is how I became the teacher today, and this is how I happened to meet you all. So it's been like this is my 19th year of my teaching experience.
Wow.
So for 19th year, I have been involved here. So what I feel is I'm still not tired of teaching.
That's really great. A lot of time you have spent in teaching, and you still feel like I love this profession. That's a really good thing. And it's very sweet that you became a teacher by some other teacher's inspiration, and I think that you follow her footsteps right now too. And I want to add that since you talk to goats, you have become a goat, greatest of all time, and I appreciate you for that. So you had a lot of person who inspired you in teaching, but who's your ultimate inspiration in life, your role model?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So obviously there are a lot of people who show us the way, but I don't remember many things, but I always take the very ideal and then what to say one of the role models of my life is my father himself. We had a very long gap, me and my father. So we have the 48 years gap. When my father was 48 years old, I was born. And probably that's the reason he would love me a lot. And he really would know me what should I do, at that time. And when I immediately after I completed my SLC, he passed away, and that means I was still a child. I was not mature, and I was still so innocent person when I lost my father. But only one thing I always remember from my father is he would always say to please, if somebody throws you a stone, you need to offer a flower to him. He would say, and at the time when he said, I felt my father is just talking something nonsense. So at that time, I did not believe in it. But later on, even today, I realize it. This is what we need to learn in life. It was a very great thing to learn in life. So, yeah, that's the thing. There are a lot of things, and I cannot, it takes a very long time for me to explain about what I learned from him. Then, every time I remember, the thing is that the quotation is now I told you. This is what I always remember from my father, and I always take him as my role model.
That's great. I mean, as your student, I can really feel that you have followed that code because you are so patient. You are listening to everybody. I feel so listened when I speak to you, and that's really great. So, keeping aside your personal interest, your personal inspiration, let's talk about your teaching experience. You have done a lot of programs in our school, and I'm really grateful for you, and I'm sure my friends are also very grateful for you. So, what are your motives behind doing this kind of programs?
So this nearly 19 years, nearly 2 decades, this 19 years experience, what has taught me is the more I teach, the more I feel kind of backing inside me. I feel like I realize that I still have a lot of things to learn. You know, so 10 years ago, I would feel that, yeah, I have, probably I have learned 90% in my life, so only 10% is left. But after 10 years, now, what I feel is now I have learned only 10%. Now 90% things are still yet to explore. I still yet to learn 90% thing. What I mean to say is that, in this profession, so I have found a lot of things to learn. And then what I believe is for the students whom I am teaching, I need to teach them the fact that learning does not stop, and then learning should be, it should be the way of the strategy of learning and teaching should be changing according to the time, right? So that's why every year, I need to bring kind of difference in my teaching style, in my profession. So it seems like like for 19 years I have been doing the same job. So yeah, some of my friends, they asked me like, "Are you fed up of teaching?" I taught 5 years and I was really fed up and I stopped. So I went about it. Some of my friends said. And some of the people, they get shocked and they are so surprised when I say I spent 19 years in this profession. But what I feel is none of the year I have not repeated the same action again and again. Many things are repeated. Many things are repeated since I am always in the same profession. But at least there must be something newness every year. And that's the thing that is keeping me in this profession. And even today, what I am doing this year, if I need to just repeat exactly the same thing next year, I won't be staying over here. If I can think something new, if I add something new, I will continue with it. Otherwise, it makes me very difficult. That's why what I do is every year I need to add something extra, which should be the new experience for me, and that should be the new experience for my students.
That's really good. I mean, that increases the students' productivity, their efficiency, and everything. It just motivates them, like it has motivated us. Since we are working in that program and taking our studies side by side, we are having that. We are having the willingness to study, to do things that we don't usually get to do, because many teachers do not think like you. They don't want to move to another keys, but then you have done a really good job.
That's the thing we need to learn. In today's world, it seems like students are to learn, students need to learn, but no, first teachers should learn.
Yes, everybody should learn.
Everyone should learn.
Yes.
Our father, our mother, they should learn, how to do everything while in the house. Everyone in the society should learn. But today, what the society says is, students should learn. My son should learn. My child should learn. Why should I learn? I'm already old. But we are not old. What I feel is I'm not old till I die.
Yes.
So, we need to remove this old concept from our mind. First of all, that's the thing. Then after, everything comes in the time. So this is not something to blame others, like the people, they don't like to change this and that. But this is the fact we need to realize, and how much we can, we need to renovate ourselves.
Yes, that's good. I mean, having that, you can definitely change society, change people's mindset, because you have an extraordinary kind of your kind of visions and your ideas that you put into programs, so that our parents can be like they can be informed, they can be aware about the thing, and I think they can also contribute by sharing them with their friends, and I think that would change the world. So
Yeah, exactly. You know, every individual, as an individual, what I feel is like I do not have a very great process to change the society and to change the country. But if every individual become aware of his or her own, duties and responsibilities, and if every individual does his or her duties in a proper way, so many problems in the world will be solved very soon. Plus, it will be the transformation of the society, transformation of everything takes place in a very short time.
yes,
You know?
that's true.
Yeah, so that's what I believe is like as an individual, as a teacher, uh, I always become aware of my roles and responsibilities. So I always think about it like if I do my responsibility in a quite different way, and it can contribute, no matter it may not bring a very big revolution, but slowly, if I instill something good in my students, at least for a few hundreds of students get motivated, they can change, all right? And it seems a small number, but it really makes, or it really brings the transformation in the society. It brings changes in the society. So, my major motive in the school for my students is like whatever I teach them, whatever the new idea I give them. So, if it works very well, all right, and whatever the things they are learning in the class, obviously it has the impact in their life. It makes a little difference, all right.
Yes.
And obviously, whatever they learn, they go and then they teach others as well. They share their knowledge with the family members. All right. So this is how I believe it brings the transformation. It brings the positive changes in the society, and this is why I'm, always dedicated in my work, in my job.
That's fantastic, and I can assure you through my lens that you are already one step closer to your vision, toward the betterment of Nepal. So let's come to the fun kind of thing. So you have done a lot of programs. I'm sure that you have done a lot of programs in other schools too, and you have done so many in our school. So can you like pick one of your best programs from our school? Like?
Yeah. Anyway, like every program, the latest program becomes a very interesting one for me. Like for the first time when I had done the book talk, so it was really a very nice program. But later on, whatever the program I do, and it's not only because of me, so I'm very lucky person. Like I feel I'm very lucky. Yeah, like, whatever the program I share with my students, it is my dream. But there are the students to make the dream come true. So that's why, maybe probably because of the supporting students, very intelligent students, team I do have. So that's why whatever the program I do, they are all being very successful, especially in this school. And but the thing like the SLC program, one of the programs we did, right? It went very well in the sense like even parents could connect it. We could connect the parents with the school because there are a lot of things that happens in the school, and that is all the programs, all the things, all the knowledge are limited. Everything is limited within the school, within the teacher and the student. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
But you know, the SLC is one of the programs that we could connect our parents as well. There were the teachers, there was the school, and there were students, and even their parents were there, and then they could absorb their students, learning achievement very closely. So it is one of my favorite programs.
So
I think this is it was successful not only for me. It was successful for the students and it was successful for the parents as well because for this school it was a new experience for the parents as well. And it went very well.
yes, it was a new experience, and I'm pretty sure that everybody is thankful for you that they could connect with their children because nowadays it's very hard for children and parents to connect because of their generation. Yeah. So coming to the another fun question, I told before that so many people are not ready to move their G's, and I learned that G's to connect with my life from the book you have recommended us to read, Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer, and you have given a lot of a lot of names, a lot of list of names of books to us to read, and I'm pretty sure you have a very good literary choice because you have given us a very fantastic novels, very fantastic life-changing things, books to read. So, what's your all-time favorite literary book, novel, or anything that you have come upon?
Okay, being honest, I am not really as studious as you guys are thinking. But even though most of the time I read the students' book, especially I always focus on the books that are helpful for the students. And then plus, yeah, I read some of the books. I read some of the books. But in the course of time, uh, maybe it depends upon the thought that is going on in my mind or the situation I am having in my life. So if I love one book in one context, I happen to love another book in another context. That's why I cannot recommend any particular book, but one of the book is there by Sivakera, You Can Win. This is the book, I read twice a year.
Wow.
When I feel down and then when I feel quite bad, you know, due to different circumstances in life. So at the time I feel quite bad, or let's say, in some kind of situation. So I just pick up You Can Win and I read it. So for maybe for 5 years, I have been reading this book twice a year. Every 6 months I read this book. And plus next, the book you read recently and you were talking about just now, Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer. This is also one of the books that is my friend. I call it. This is my best friend. All right. So I feel like this is the book I frequently read. These are the two books, especially. I have read many other books, but these are the books which I pick up time and again.
So I will be reading it, and I am sure that our audience will be reading it, of course, because DC sir has found it good, and I'm pretty sure we will also find it good. But it's according to taste that we choose our best literary novels. So keeping aside the personal experiences, your teaching experiences, your the fun kind of things we talked in, so like your most favorite book or your most memorable experience. As a citizen of a country, of a democratic country, Nepal, let's talk about politics as we are the citizens of Nepal. So, what views do you have on the current situation of Nepal?
Well, what I feel is uh, our society, what we find the psychology of our society is they feel the politics is something bad. It's a bad game. It's the bad game doing the bad game. This is what the concept. But I totally disagree with this. So the politics is a policy.
Yes.
Following the policy is the politics. That's why You are in the school, it had some policies, we follow this in order to get success over here. So you are doing politics over here.
Yes.
So like, and especially the politics we are understanding today, which is the policy of running the nation, which is the policy that determines the future of every child today. Yes or no? That's the policy that in which the future of the nation depends on. And how can we call such an important and great policy as a bad politics?
Yes.
And we should not ignore it. Obviously, as a student and teacher, we should not do politics. We may not need to do politics, but we must understand politics.
Yes.
What I suggest all my students is, please be aware of the politics. Don't do politics, it's okay. It might not be your job today. Alright, your job today is quite different. But you must understand politics. Because this is only the thing that is showing who you are tomorrow, who you will be tomorrow. Alright? So after 10 years, you are the student of grade 10 today, and after 10 years, you'll be enjoying in your country with your parents, or you'll be, wandering somewhere in the foreign country, in the foreign land, missing your parents in Nepal, and struggling for the basic needs somewhere in the foreign land.
Yes.
That situation, or you will be enjoying in your country along with your parents with a very high salary, doing a decent job. Whatever you will be after 10 years, it depends upon the politics it is going in today. And isn't it important? You must be interested, you must understand, and even when the time comes, you need to be ready to act for the action as well.
Yes, that's true. Politics is something that determines our society, and as a part of society, I think it's very necessary for us to understand politics. So, talking about understanding about politics, I'm pretty sure so many people are not interested about it, but as a politics enthusiast myself, I would like to ask you a question on the very current situation of politics in Nepal. So there was a case where Ravi Lansane recently got arrested. I think you already know that, you are already well informed about it, but let's bring that into discussion.
Well, so before coming to this point, what I would like to clarify your previous, issue, I mean the kind of question, yeah. Today generation, many people, many students today, many youths today, they are not very interested in politics. In this case, I really don't like to blame the youths today. I really don't like to blame the students. But I can blame the teachers, I can blame the parents, I can blame the society, who kept a kind of bad impact in their mind. So it's the duty of the adult to make them aware about the politics. As a teacher, this is my duty to make my students aware what's going on today in the society. Even the policy of the country's level policy, the government level policy is also changed nowadays. The school students should be given the some kind of knowledge about the politics. That's why even social studies subject has been added in the school curriculum, in the plus 2 curriculum, and then it has been in the English medium. I mean, it was in English medium before, and it has been in Nepali medium. Why all these things are done is to make the citizen, to make the youth understand what is going on in the society. Alright? That's the reason. And obviously, though it's been quite, I think 5-6 years, the social studies subject has been in Nepali medium, still many people seem to be not understanding it very well. So here, the teachers, the educators must work a lot to make the youths understand.
Yes, that's really important because in social we learn about society, and in society we speak Nepali. We are Nepali citizens, and I'm pretty pretty sure like research shows that, and so many theories have been there that a child learns best in his mother tongue, and our mother tongue is Nepali, and it is very far better that we have got social in Nepali. We could understand society in Nepali in a practical manner. So yes, that's true. We have like teachers must encourage children to like focus on politics too, instead of focusing on 4 GPA only, because 4 GPA might be for today. Instead of only focusing on 4 GPA and not about society, I think teachers should really work hard to make students learn about politics, because that's what that will create future for them. Like not 4 GPA is gonna be for 1 year, 2 year, or maybe for lifetime, but that's not gonna change our society. That's not gonna change our ideology, our vision for the betterment of Nepal. So coming back to the topic of Ravi Lansane, so let's talk about it. What do you think?
Well, so actually it seems like this is the fight between the current government, especially the Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli and Ravi Lansane. But actually this is not a fact. This is the fight between the false and truth. And this is the fight between the system and the chaos. You know, some people in Nepal, they get benefited when there is a chaotic situation in the country. You know, when there is the system comes, many people in this country are they will be sidelined. You know. They will be proved as bankrupt, and they will be. It is sure that they will be going to the prison. All right, if the system comes over there, that's why some of the people, even some political parties, they are always ready to not letting the system come over here. So especially the new youths today. Ravi Lansane, we can take the name, and then especially the party, the Rashtriya Shwatandra Party, led by him. What they want is, what I feel is, I might be wrong. Actually, I'm not,
It's okay.
actual supporter of any person over here, but we must say, like, we must support the truth. We must support the right person, right thing. But till now, what I have not found is Ravi Lansane has done something wrong. Okay, I have not found any truth. I personally, I read the report, nearly 1200 pages long report, which was prepared, in the course of investigation of Ravi Lansane's, involvement in that. I read it over there. There is nothing, no line, no word in the report says like Ravi Lansane has done something wrong with the money of the cooperatives of Nepal. But what does the government do? The government has, accused him of, manipulating the money of the cooperatives. This is something wrong. All right, and like this, as he has been charged in many things, I have been observing everything in a very closely, and I have never found any kind of proof. Only the thing they are doing is they are just producing the rumors over here. They are making the rumors so that the people who are really not very much conscious, they get manipulated. When something something bad or something wrong, when the wrong thing is said time and again, all right. When the I don't know what is this, kind of slogan was that, like, if you are made to tell the wrong thing 100 times, then you happen to believe it. Yeah, you start feeling it. Like this is the truth. And what I feel is the current political parties, especially the government, they are trying to produce they are trying to manipulate the people's mind, like, yeah, saying everything time and again. He was wrong, he was tough, he was bad, and then keep on, telling it time and again, so that majority of the people in Nepal, they can understand, yeah, maybe there is something wrong in radicalism. There is something wrong in the newcomer. There is something wrong in Balensa.
Yes.
Alright, there is something wrong in Gobiama. So, they don't have any kind of proof, but they are just trying to make it. They are trying to make it. So, as a senior, I mean, as a sincere citizen, I have understood it. I have observed it. That's why I can openly say Ravi Larisane is not a thought, but he's a kind of a person who wants the progress of this nation, who wants the prosperity of the Nepalese people. That's why in this case I really support it. That's why what I feel is this is not only, they are not trying to what to say, destroy Ravi Larisane, but they are trying to destroy the new idea, innovative ideas. It shows all the things, like all these activities, the government's activities going on, it shows that they are not against Ravi Larisane personally, but they are against the new ideas. They are against the innovative ideas.
Okay.
They are against the system. So that's my understanding.
So the thing you told, that if you repeat 100, like if you repeat the first statement 100 times, that it will be truth. So this was actually the thing Hitler followed to brainwash people in Germany.
Yeah.
So does that mean that you feel that our government is like the party we have in the system right now is a political parties which has ideologies, unlike Ravi Larishane's political parties who do not have a significant, the most important theory, or what should say, a kind of slogan they follow. They do not have, Ravi Larishane's party do not have, as far as I know. But then the parties who are in the system we were talking about, Sherbalji Dewa's party, Nepali Congress, and then Nepal Communist Party, MLA, they have an ideology, their political ideologies, which were influenced by so many people. So does that mean that it is going to be the end of the ideologies, the people have put forward in the history in many countries, and that has been come to Nepal? So does that mean doing like this kind of bad things, not bad things, I mean they might be wrong, right? Doing this kind of things actually kills the ideology of their
it's a very weighty question. I don't think I am the very right person to analyze this. But what I feel is obviously they had the ideology. Now also they have in the paper, but actually in their mind, in their brain, there is no more ideology. At the time when D.P. Koirala was there,
yes.
alright, so there was the ideology. He had created the ideology. And the party was according to the ideology. But today, none of them have the ideology. They have. When the people ask, where is your ideology? They say, easily they say, well, this is our ideology. See? Our BP Koirala made, they say there is, but in today's, in the present time, if you see, neither the Communist Party nor the Congress, who are like Democratic Party, they call themselves, but they don't have any ideology. If they have any ideology, that is to cheat, that is to go against the system. That is to create a situation so that only those few leaders can do anything they like in this country. If they have any ideology, to send all the youths from this country, so that only war and only the children remain over here, so that they cannot protest against them. Do you understand that? If they have the ideology to destroy the education system, so that they do not produce the educated people, knowledgeable people, They just produce the people with the certificate, but having no knowledge in their mind. Alright? So they are always the seat-like people, and so that they can rule over them very easily. So that's why this is, like if I am some wrong, then I'm extremely sorry, but this is what the reality I have found today.
Does that mean that you are against the person in the system? Like you have a kind of
I'm not against any person, but I'm against the ideology, new ideology they have. Alright? They are forgetting their original and true ideology, and they are just making the new ideology of torturing others, new ideology of banning the new ideas. I'm against that. They are new ideology. They need to stop it. And even those old people must leave their seat and then let the young people do the politics, and then they should give the space for the youths to get involved into the things.
That's good. I mean, I am sure so many people can relate with you, especially youths, because they are just willing to do something and they are just to go aboard. And I really appreciate Ravi Lamithani's parties. There are so many persons, like so many MPs who have fight against the old people about so many things, and it is just too good to hear them come forward. And I'm so happy that these political parties are setting new thing for political parties. They are giving chance for youths to come forward, and as a political enthusiast, I can see myself too joining parties, and I'm pretty sure that it's open for everyone, and that's really good. So we have come to the end of the show. It was really nice talking with you, talking so many things about with you. I don't normally sit with people and then listen my word and listen others' word this carefully, this patiently, and thank you for listening. Thank you for answering our question. So now I have a last question. The question is, as a beacon of knowledge, as a beacon of inspiration for the people who saw you right now in the podcast, and for us who we are your students, for us, please give some message and then we will end.
Yeah, only message I have for my students, for all the people, all the youths is be the master of yourself. Be who you are. Alright? Don't try to be others. Okay? So actually this is not my one creation, but maybe somebody else said it, I got it in some of the books. But so it depends upon you whether you want to prove yourself as a boss or as a servant. So you always try to be like a boss. Okay. So it means the boss always knows what he has to do. All right. But the servant-minded people, they wait for somebody else's order to do something, to do the action. Alright? So maybe you got it what I mean to say. I request all my students, all the people over here, be yourself, be the master of yourself, and everything will be okay.
Thank you, sir. That was really nice of you. Now, I'd like to thank you again for giving time, for being with me, being with our Rishimuni inside. As you hold a very special name in the show's name itself, it was really nice talking to you. And everyone, this is the end of our first episode, Rishimuni Inside. I am your favorite host, Sheela Gyawali, signing off today. Thank you.